We'll start with Cam and Drummond.
Hey there, Kyra. Thanks as always for taking some time to speak with us. First off, I just wanted to ask availability-wise for tomorrow night, is there anyone you're anticipating not having, and if so, who? And secondly, just what has it been like for you and the staff the last couple of weeks trying to keep everyone focused and engaged without, competitive games to play against other teams?
Hello and Happy New Year, since I haven't seen you guys, and always great. So the first part of your question, we feel that we will have full availability to take the floor on Thursday, which we are extremely excited about that. And then just how we've been handling it. My message to the team, obviously, it's uncertain times while we're dealing with COVID and not being able to take the floor, but we're not the only team that's had to deal with this. And, we have really focused on remaining resilient, tough, make sure that we adaptability and flexibility is extremely important, and controlling the things that we can control. We can control our attitude, we can control our effort, we can control our work ethic and how we respond. So trying to respond in a positive manner. We take the floor, we've been practicing hard. So I'm excited in the direction that we are headed.
Larry Vaught.
Kyra, an old guy like me might say, my gosh, a 2-week break. How in the world do you ever get your players focused and thinking back on basketball? But I know you're a little bit more optimistic person than me. So from a coaching point of view, tell me the good things that happened during this break that you're going to use as positives going forward with this team.
Yes, come on, Mr. Vaught, you must be optimistic. Come on, have some optimism. But we really hadn't been off for 2 weeks. We played Campbellsville on December 26th in a close scrimmage, which I think was very good for our team coming off break. And, the positive is anytime you can take the practice floor, it gives you an opportunity to clean up some things that we hadn't had a chance to work on while we were playing so many games back to back. So we've done a lot of shooting, a lot of reviewing our offense, trying to clean up our defense. And then, like I said, just control the things that we can control. We knew at some point we were going to take the floor, and happy that we're going to do it on Thursday.
Grant Grubbs.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned shooting there real quick. During y'all's past few official games, you guys had a little bit trouble shooting from the outside. What have you guys kind of been doing to try and get back in the rhythm, and how important has that been going into Georgia?
Well, it's extremely important. They have to see the ball going through the net. So just trying to get a lot of volume shots while we were fatigued, game speed shots. So we've changed up a lot of our shooting drills, but a lot of them have just been while we were fatigued. I think that was a thing that was happening to us, that once we were tired, our shots were short. So really try to clean that up, as well as just game speed going in, finishing around the rim. So we have taken a lot of time to try to finish around the rim and in the paint.
John Wong.
Hi, Kyra. Happy New Year to you also.
Thank you.
Like you're going to be facing Jennastadiu for what seems like the 100th time. She's been around for a long time. Tell us about the problems that she poses for your team down low, and specifically, what do your bigs need to do to be able to step up and defend her?
Yeah, Jennastadiu is a great post, and I feel like we have played her 1,000 times, but she's extremely skilled. Obviously, she has great size on her, so she can score around the rim, but she can also block shots. And, we have to be physical. We have to meet her early, try to jam her up, not let her get 2 feet in the paint. When the shot goes up, we must find a way to box her out, get her out of the paint. Those will be big keys for us going into the game tomorrow.
Larry Vaught.
Yeah, Kyle, a little bit off the game here, but when Jenkins signed with you, how important a signee was that for you from a talent standpoint and just a PR standpoint, both in the state?
Well, Mimi is an unbelievable player. We're so excited to have her. I think she is a prototype of Kentucky women's basketball player. She is extremely athletic, versatile, can play on both sides of the ball. And, and it's important for us to keep the top kids at home. And she really wants to represent this state. And she knows how important it is to wear a Kentucky jersey. So she's going to definitely help take us to the next level.
Mitchell Brown.
Hey, Coach, Happy New Year to you. Hope all is well.
Same to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Obviously, you guys have had some time off. You talked about, though, having that scrimmage there. But in that time, obviously, not as many game situations, so maybe a little bit more opportunity for some players. Has there been anybody that's kind of taken another step up or has kind of proved themselves to get some more time going into these SEC games, or has it kind of been just that status quo for you guys?
I would say status quo only because everyone is practicing extremely hard. And we've, had people in and out of practice. But I will say that I think Jada has taken a big step forward. So her having this time off from games has really, from the point guard position, has given her time to really learn the intricate parts of our offense and understanding some of the details defensively. But I think everyone has really taken a step forward. This has been a lot to go through, but we have responded in a positive way. But they are excited about getting back on the floor. There's nothing like playing a game. When you're an athlete, in SEC season, you want to compete against the best. So they're ready to take the floor.
Cameron.
I guess just when you think back to last season, you went through SEC play as a head coach for the first time, the kind of stop-start nature of things as a head coach for the first time. What did you learn from that period last year that you're now able to use this year that maybe you didn't know before, or just something that you're better informed about now?
Well, it's all a work in progress. You learn something different every day, but I think just to ride the waves, not get too high, not get too low. You're thrown different things every day. And then as a leader, I'm just trying to remain consistent along with this staff, to let them know everything's going to be okay. These are the cards that we were dealt, but we will make it through it. And you just have to remain resilient. We talk about that all the time, being resilient. And then just having everybody prepared. You don't know who you're going to take to the floor on any given night. And so just making sure everyone on your roster is prepared to step up. I think that's one of the biggest things.
John Wall.
We've talked ad nauseum about how difficult the conference grind is. I mean, my God, there are, I think, 6 teams ranked in the top 25. That doesn't even include Missouri, which upsets South Carolina. As you approach this meat grinder, how do you balance the intensity that's needed every single night with the idea of never getting too high and too low? Is there a way to ratchet back without sacrificing the effort on the court?
Well, I'm not talking about on the court. Let's just make that clear. I'm talking about off the court when circumstances come our way. You can never get too high or too low. On the court, you always have to have intensity. That's part of playing the game and playing in this league. It is a gauntlet, and people play in this conference because they want to play against the best. And the fun thing about this conference, night in and night out, you have to give your best in order to win. So that's the challenge. That's the fun of it. Now, a lot of sleepless nights for all head coaches in this league. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to give your best. And the margin of error is so small, in order to win these games. So, we have to be able to produce.
Grant Grubbs.
Yeah, Coach. Cameron, I think it was, mentioned kind of looking back at last season a little bit. You guys split the 2 games last season. They knocked you guys out of the SEC tournament. And when they did beat you, it was the biggest difference statistically was they out-rebounded you. How big or how much have you all looked back on that game kind of as motivation and also just a learning experience heading into this one?
Well, you look at it as a learning experience. And yes, they did out-rebound us in that game. We did not have our best showing at the SEC tournament, and they played well. But at the end of the day, this is a new season. And the things that Georgia is a tough team. They rebound the ball extremely well. They push and transition offense. And they're just tough. And so we'll have to match their intensity. You know, it's going to be a battle of wills on the board. Defensively, they're going to come after us. So we have to take care of the basketball. So it'll be a chess match, but that's part of the SEC grind.
Thanks, sir. Oh, looks like John's got one more.
All right, I never want to take Ryan Howard for granted, but we've gone through this whole news conference without one question about her. So I want you to kind of talk about what advice you've given her as far as being able to finish strong, finish her career strong here at the University of Kentucky.
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, she's had ups and downs this season, but you know what we talked to her and what I specifically talked to her about, you know, is you are surrounded by a supporting cast that can help you. You do not have to carry all burden on your shoulders. And then I want her to let loose and just have fun. That's part of it. Obviously, she has accolades out the wazoo, and she'll continue to rack those up. And what makes her talented is she can play all positions. But I just talked to her about going back to the basics, blue collar, you know, play in the passing lanes, get some steals, get to the offensive rebounds, sprint the floor in transition, hit open threes. But the most important thing is for her to play hard, but have fun. Try to take some pressure off of herself, and good things will happen.
Thanks, everybody. We appreciate the time today.